This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Bob, how are you doing today? How's Nashville treating you so far?
Oh, everything's fine. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold here, but no, it's good to be back for the SEC tournament.
What's your remedy for treating a cold while you're on the road? You can't cook for yourself while you're on the road. I don't know if you do when you're home. How do you handle something like that? And I'll tell you how I do it first. I go search out the spiciest hot and sour soup that I can find at a Chinese restaurant. That usually does it for me. Would that help you?
It might. I really don't like sweet and sour soup. I like wonton soup, okay, or just regular old. I guess if I was going to go soup, I'd probably go chicken broth or something like that. But, I just try to stay, drink a lot of water and stay hydrated. Like iced tea with lemons kind of soothing. I think lemon helps, or some people like hot tea with a little honey. You try to get a lot of rest. I think getting rest helps. I had a pretty long day yesterday, so try to get some good sleep last night.
Bob, everywhere we go in this beautiful country, America, there's a Starbucks. So, and I don't go to Starbucks much. I really don't. I'm not a real big coffee guy. You go get a medicine ball, hot medicine ball. It's just what you said on the Starbucks, and they'll hook you up.
I have never heard of this thing.
It's not on the menu. You got
to be in the know for
your cold. Yeah, it's got the health and the lemon and the honey and the hot green tea and everything for your throat. That's medicine ball at Starbucks. So everybody knows.
If you trust Matt Jones to do that, Bob, and it works, we'll have a celebration.
Absolutely.
Medicine ball at Starbucks. What do you think?
Well, it definitely sounds like something worth trying out. I'm really not a Starbucks person.
Me either.
I'm not a coffee person.
Me either, Bob.
I don't really want to pay $10 for a Frappuccino, mocha latte, whatever.
And it's not a coffee. It's not. I'm not a Starbucks fanatic. It's not that expensive, but when you need it, it's there. Just put it in your back pocket.
Hey, I'd spend $15 for a good cold remedy that I know that works.
Yeah.
So let's translate this into the basketball game today. Bob, the Razorback basketball team has a cold. Defensively, they've been a little bit ill of late. How do you think Muss would like to fix the defensive ills against Auburn?
Well, I think having a few days off will help. Normally you don't get, and certainly in conference play, you don't get this kind of time between games. So they haven't played since Saturday afternoon, so they've had really 5 full days to get ready. I think having, hopefully DeMonte Davis can play the whole game after getting ejected. With I think 18 minutes left against Kentucky, he's their best, on-ball perimeter defender. I assume he'll be on Wendell Green on the perimeter, and so I think having Devo in there to sort of be, the leader of your defensive effort. And I think the guys, the other players, feed off his defensive energy. So I think that'll help. And they just kind of get. I think they got to just get refocused and regroup and get back to playing how they've played in a lot of games this year, whether they were some good wins like at Kentucky or over San Diego State or over Texas A&M, and maybe some of those tough losses where they played pretty well, like at Baylor and at A&M. They played well there for a long time. So I think it might be more mental than physical. Just get refocused and shake off that losing streak and realize, it's a new season and you got a chance to do some damage in this SEC tournament.
Yeah, I look for Mr. Razorback, Devo Davis, to have a big game and have a big tournament. If this team can get on a roll, we can have somebody make this all-tournament team, maybe even a couple players. What scares me, Bob, is the inside, the guys down low, the bigs, and they got one. Auburn, their leading guy is Broom, and he did okay against us in their place, but he's the one that scares me. We're going to have team defense to stop him, but how do we stop him?
Yeah, he's really good on both ends. Looking it up, he had 10 points and 10 boards, but probably most impressively 6 block shots. So he's a factor on both ends. And, the Mitchell twins have been so good at sorry, my throat sounds so bad. It doesn't feel as bad as it sounds. They've been pretty good at locking guys up. They did a good job on Oscar Tshiebwe in the game at Lexington, maybe not quite as well in the rematch, although he didn't go crazy. But I think a big key for Arkansas, trying to, verticality and wall up and make those guys not just block shots, that's always nice, but, alter shots in the lane. And, kids don't get in a lot of foul trouble because that's something the Mitchell twins have a tendency to do sometimes. And Kamai Johnson, had the bad toe and missed some games, but I think he'll be very fired up. And, he's 6'7", but I think he tends to play bigger than that, especially on the defensive end and when he's going for offensive boards. So, again, I think they got to play smart and not foul too much and kind of adjust to how the game's being called. Usually you can tell early if you get a touch foul, you got to be a little more careful. They'll let you play a little bit more to take advantage of that and be a little more physical. But, it's like Eric said after the game the other day, Arkansas struggled with physical teams. And I don't think Auburn's as physical, certainly not as physical as Tennessee, probably not as physical as Kentucky. But, they still need to be able to play tough.
You have this sense, when you hear Muss talk and just watching the team play, you haven't known what to expect on a game by game basis. And even back, when Nick was rehabbing that knee, it was mostly trouble scoring. And then when the team started playing well near the end of his rehab, they were defending incredibly well. Now Nick comes back and scoring really isn't the issue necessarily. I mean, in a couple of games it has been, but the outside shot for Nick has certainly helped open some things up. There's other guys that don't shoot well from the outside, and free throw shooting's been an issue, but it's been defense more than anything else. It's like, Muss has always been able to push the right button with his teams the last few years, the last 2-3 years at Nevada, and certainly the first 3 years with Arkansas. And I think you can sense that frustration from the coach that he hasn't, there's ideas, it's not like he's just sending them out there willy-nilly. But nothing has quite been able to settle in, and this feels like a little bit of like a standalone season in Muss's head coaching career as a college head coach. Like this season stands out from the others, but hopefully he can push the right buttons for this next month, because this next month is how the season is defined. It's not it's not November through February. November through February is all how you set yourself up for March. Now you can define your season.
Yeah, and it's obviously been a disappointing season for Arkansas based on expectations, but there have been mitigating factors, losing Trevor Brazile in the 9th game for the season, having Nick Smith miss 19 games and having several of these games back where he's kind of had to play his way back into shape and try to get into the groove and, see what's going on. So, sorry, somebody's knocking on my door.
That's all right. Well, they just want to bring you some towels.
Yeah,
That's
they just bring you your hot tea. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry about that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. What do you think of Nashville, Bridgestone? How many more years is this tournament in Nashville? Is it another 3? Is this the sort of thing where it was a long-term deal that was signed? Because it's a great arena. I wouldn't say it's necessarily like centrally located because of how northern the city is, but as far as east-west, it's kind of central to the SEC. Is the tournament there for a really long time, or is it just 3 years?
I should have looked that up. I think they're long-term. I think they really like having it here because of I'm on the radio. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
That's all right, Bob. It's the same thing happens to me all the time when I'm in hotel rooms. That I just end up either ignoring the folks when they're at the door, but sometimes you got to get the trash emptied. I get it.
Yeah. But anyway, I'd have to look it up, but I think it was in Tampa last year, and I think it's going to be in here long term because it's proximity to Kentucky fans, just like they like having the women's tournament now in South Carolina because the proximity to South Carolina is the power team, and Kentucky fans always, whatever kind of year they've had, the Kentucky fans are going to show up, and so I think Arkansas will probably have a decent contingent here. There are a lot of Arkansas fans. It's not that far from Little Rock. You got Arkansas fans here, probably in Nashville and Memphis, and some fans will probably make it from other parts of Arkansas, from Northwest Arkansas, but. I think Nashville is definitely the main place to have it. Now, it used to be Atlanta, and now it's Nashville.
Yeah, how is the atmosphere so far? Do you expect it just to build as the evening goes?
Yeah, I didn't go over to the games last night. I was surprised that LSU won, I guess. But good for them.
You and me both, Bob. I was surprised as well.
Yeah. And I think, one thing I noticed, and this is true, when if Arkansas wasn't playing till Friday, which the last 2 years they haven't played till Friday, you'll see Arkansas fans there. I think, they like to come and watch basketball. Last night, one thing I think is a smart move by the SEC, those Wednesday night games, I believe this is the case. It was last year. It's free admission. They just want people to be there and to help out. So there's some people in the building to see those. Well, I guess I kind of call them the playing games, first four, whatever you want to call them. And so, but yeah, I think you'll have Kentucky fans will be there. But Kentucky might have the most fans there tonight. Who knows? But Kentucky fans are in town. They're going to show up, and certainly as the week goes on, the momentum builds. Teams, you kind of see if maybe a team gets on a roll you didn't expect, or is it going to be all the teams, all the seeds work out, and you're going to have your top four seeds playing Saturday. I always think the semifinals is kind of the best day because you've got two games with either four really good teams or maybe a team that got hot at the right time, like A&M did last year.
The SEC has this thing backwards, Bob. You let everybody in free. You charge the Kentucky fans twice what the tickets would usually cost because they'll pay it. That's the trick of actually how to make money through ticket sales at the SEC tournament. You let everyone else in free. Heck, the Razorback fans will pay your normal face value. You let everyone else get in for free, and then the Kentucky fans pay twice the face value because, it's like the Kentucky Invitational anyway. That I wondered why I turned that second game on last night for a little bit, and I was kind of shocked at how many people were in the arena for a game that, literally didn't really mean all that much as far as, who won that game. It's just who moves on to the next round, and that was it. So I guess it was a whole bunch of locals or I guess, fans of other teams that were there. So free tickets for the first day. I would be shocked if they did that today.
No, I think it's just a Wednesday night thing, just to try to get a crowd in there because you don't want 1,000 people in a 20,000 seat arena. That's not good for the kids, So I applaud the SEC for being smart, and yet the people are still going to buy Cokes and beers and popcorn and hot dogs, so you're still going to make some money, and it's just it's on TV. You're getting the TV revenue, so I think it's a good thing for the SEC to do it to help out the teams, get a better atmosphere, and it looks better on TV. Who wants to watch? It's not very good advertising for the SEC if there's 2,000 people in the arena watching these games. So I applaud the SEC. It gives the fans a little bit of a reward. If you live here and you want to take your kids to a big time college basketball event, you say, hey, we'll go to the SEC tournament. You're not going to spend $100 on tickets or whatever.
Bob, last thing I'd seen, Hogs Stats had reported this. I know Anthony Black has, a few turnovers too many recently and hasn't shot the ball very well. But when you put his entire season as a freshman into perspective, this really is one of the great freshman seasons in Arkansas history. With 4 more points, AB joins the club at Arkansas of 400 or more points, 150 rebounds, 125 assists, and 60 steals. Only Alvin Robertson and J.D. Note achieved the feat. And that's pretty good company for AB to be amongst.
Yeah, I saw that stat too. It's amazing all the stuff that Justin comes up with. He's like a computer or something. But I know and AB will tell you he's had a few too many turnovers, but he just he scores, he facilitates with his assist, he rebounds really well. Of course, he's 6'7", but not every big guard rebounds well. And he plays pretty good defense. He blocks shots. There's really not anything he doesn't do on the court for you. I think he's been their most valuable player in my mind. And he's had such a great all around year, and I hope fans have enjoyed it because it's going to be his only year as a Razorback. I think that's safe to say.
Bob, we'll let you go, man. Hope you feel better. Get that voice.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.